You're listening to the Marriage Clinic podcast, a podcast on love, marriage, and personal development. Our purpose is to inspire and equip you with knowledge and skills to enable you to have lasting and fulfilling relationships. Now, your host, Joshua Mogre.
Hello, good evening. It's 8 p.m. in Ghana. I don't know what time it is wherever you are, but I'm so happy to be bringing you the Marriage Clinic once again. This is a podcast about love, relationships, marriage, and your personal development. And as always, it's me who is your host, Joshua Mogre. I trust you've had a fruitful week. And as we begin to shift gears into the weekend, I hope your weekend will be lovely. We had quite a lot of feedback from the beginning of this series of podcasts, which is one is a whole number. And I want to pause for a moment and please share this wherever you are. Send it to a friend. This is going to be amazing, especially if you have a friend who is single. This is a good time to share it with them, because they are going to love what we are going to bring to you today. This is the Marriage Clinic podcast. All right. So we started last week, and it's important to remember that we are all born single. No one was born married. Nobody on this planet was born married. And I reminded you of the great words of Jesus in Matthew chapter 19, verse 11 to 12, where it said, "But Jesus said, not everyone is mature enough to live a married life. It requires a certain aptitude and grace. Marriage is not for everyone. Some from birth seemingly never give marriage a thought. Others never get asked or accepted. And some decide not to get married for kingdom reasons. But if you are capable of growing into the largeness of marriage, do it." I always start with this caveat or this reminder when I talk about single life, and this is it. Not everybody will get married. It's the truth. We don't like to accept it. We don't want to believe it. We tend to say different things about it. But the truth is that not everybody will get married. Some people, for various reasons, will never get asked to get married. Others, for various reasons, will never have anyone want to marry them. And there are others who will just make a genuine decision that marriage is not for me. If you are out there and you are listening to this and you are convinced, not because you are frustrated, not because someone broke your heart, but probably you just have the conviction that marriage is not for you, you should know that is not strange. It may be a small part of the population, but it is not strange. If you are choosing to be single, choose to be single for the right reasons. Choose to be single not because you love marriage and can't have it, or don't choose to be single because you saw a very bad experience that your parents had. Don't choose to be single because of what love has done to you so far. If you feel you are called to be single, there's nothing wrong with that, but it should be for the right reasons, because you want to achieve a purpose or because you want to serve God better. So those are some of the things we need to remember. Last week, I spoke a lot about the wrong perceptions of being single, and a lot of people had an aha moment, as we like to say in today's times, or some people had a paradigm shift about being single just by listening to that. To those of you who got in touch and said, "Hey, this really did bless me and this really did make a difference," I'm grateful and I'm glad. And I sincerely hope that more people will come to an understanding of the single life. Now, that said, I want to talk to you about how to enjoy your single life. How to enjoy your single life. For the next couple of minutes, we're going to be talking about how to enjoy your single life. I'm passionate about that one. Your single life is important. It's a season, it's a phase, and it should be enjoyed. You see, one of the problems we have is that we are so concerned about the next season that we do not enjoy enough of the season. I've used this example several times where when children are in, I have a son who keeps coming to me and keeps saying, he says, I can't wait to be 6. I can't wait to be 6. Even today, he asked me, he said, when I am older, will you allow me to drive your car? I said, yes. He said, how old do I have to be? I said, 18. He said, I can't wait to be 18. And the boy is 5 years old. I wish he would enjoy being 5 and then enjoy being 10, enjoy being a teenager, enjoy going to secondary school before worrying about driving a car. The problem that we have is too many people worry about the next season of their life so much that they are not able to get the best out of the season they are in. While you are single, it will be a waste of your time, your effort, your energy to be worrying about what marriage will be like and how you can get married instead of embracing your single season and enjoying your single season, because that season will come to an end. That season will come to an end. I have a very close friend who, for confidentiality reasons, I will leave unnamed. But in my opinion, she's one of the people who enjoyed her single life the most. While her mates were getting married somewhere around 27, 28, when everybody seemed to be getting married, I'll talk to her and she'll be like, well, it hasn't happened for me yet, so I'm going to live my best life. Next time you hear from her, she's somewhere in Europe doing some interesting things. The next time she's in Ghana following the elephant routes all the way from the Upper East down south. The next time she was going to learn how to do massage. The next time she was doing something with stock exchange. She made the single life look good. Because while she was waiting for someone to ask her out, make a decision about it, and get married, she had decided that she was going to live her best single life. She could close from work on a Friday and go somewhere for the weekend and come back before that. We must learn to understand that the single life can be enjoyed. The single life can be embraced. The single life can be worked on. So while you are waiting for your single life to come to an end, please, for the love of God and all the saints, enjoy the single season of your life. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips to understand and enjoy the single phase of your life, and I trust they will help you. Number 1, understand that it is a phase of life. It is not the end of your life. It is not the beginning of your life. It is a phase of your life. Most people will go through situations of being single for the first 20 to 30 years of their lives. Most people. It may differ for some people. And then they will get married probably for the next 40 years thereabout. And then after that, most likely, a lot of people become single again before they die. Because it is rare, few people die on the same day as their spouse. So being single is part of the journey of life. It is part of the journey of life. So understand that it is a phase. You see, I love scripture, and it says there's a time for everything. It says a time to die, a time to live, and a time to die. And you must understand that there is a time for everything, and this may be your single phase. So embrace it. Embrace the single phase. The second thing that you need to do is, in order to embrace and enjoy your single phase, you need to have little projects that you do. If you're single and you're listening to me, please understand this clearly. And I stated this in my book. There are things you can do single that you cannot do so easily married. There are places you can go single that you cannot go so easily married. Let me give you an example. If you closed from work, let's say you closed from work probably at 5 p.m., and while you were just walking out of the office, you met another friend who said, hey, guess what? They are going to be having a stage play tonight. You could immediately go from the office to the stage play. And after the stage play, your friends could say, hey, it's been a while since we all met. Could we go sit down and have some drinks? So the stage play could end somewhere probably at 9 p.m. and you could go have drinks with friends till 12, go home, unlock your house, and go to bed. Take a shower. I sincerely hope you take a shower. Take a shower and go to bed with no problem. Now, in your mind, envisage with me and change that setting. Let's say you are a married woman. You're stepping out of the office and your friend says, hey, there's a stage play today. Excuse me to say, you dare not. Leave, because by the time you get to the stage play, someone is going to call and say, Madam, your children are still in school. Another person is going to call and say, honey, where are you? Or if we flip the script, and if you are a man, immediately your wife calls and she says, it's 7:30. It takes you about 20 minutes to get home. What's happening today? Say, oh, I just heard about a stage play. And then you begin to realize there are so many other responsibilities. So while being single, enjoy that phase of your life. Get it out of your system so that when you marry, you are not going to be like those men we see all the time who run away from their home and go sit somewhere during the night. Enjoy the phase. So have little projects. You can learn a new language. You can learn a new language. There's nothing wrong with learning a new language, okay? Learn a new language. Learn a new skill. Go back to school, all right? Find that thing that you've always wanted to do with your life and do it now, okay? Learn a new language. Go to piloting school. Learn to ride a motorbike. Do a safari from one end of your country to the other end of your country. Take your weekends off and go do something. But learn different skills. Learn a trade. Go back to school. Have a little project that will be harder when you are married. Go learn how to code. Go learn how to code. Learn how to paint. Join a pottery class. Join a baking class. I mean, for heaven's sake, the only meals you can cook are probably banku, pap, and whatever. Go learn some other meals. Learn some Japanese meals. Learn to bake a croissant or whatever they call these things. But the moment you begin to have little projects while you are single, your life does not feel too empty. What I see with a lot of people who believe they are within the marriage age is that when they close from work, they come home and sit in an empty house, and they are sitting in an empty house asking themselves, if only I had children, if only I had a wife, probably things would be more interesting. But if you fill your time with important things, you will have projects that will keep you busy and cause you to have the best of your single life, okay? That brings me to the second thing that you can do. The second thing that you can do. Increase your circle of friends. Increase your circle of friends. Increase your circle of friends. Life is not meant to be lived alone. All right? Life is not meant to be lived alone. And the more people you know, the better your life is. It's a whole nother thing about how to categorize your friends so that you don't get your heart broken. Maybe someday we'll talk about something like that. But even for a single person, understand that getting married is a numbers game. And the more people you know and the more people you encounter, the higher the chances are that you will find that person that you are looking for. So increase your circle of friends. Have good friends. Get involved in more associations and groups. Join a choir, join an a cappella group, join a hiking group, join a reading club, join whatever grouping you can join. A swim club, anything. Join clubs, join associations, get involved with your old students associations, start a movie, something. Just do things that enable you to meet more people, have more friends, and do more, I nearly said crazy, but more interesting things. Increase your circle of friends. If you are thinking about it right now, and the friends you have now are the same friends you have had for the last 2 years, it's a shame. Ask yourself this question. In the last, especially if you are a single person, if you are a married person, sit down, please. We're not talking about you. In the last 2 months, how many new friends have you made? How many new people have you interacted with? Because we are not making friends only because we are hoping we'll date them. We are making friends because the different kinds of people you meet and make friends with increase your experiences and broaden your horizons. I don't only make friends with people I agree with or people of the same religion. I have friends who are of different religions, who believe different things, who have different political persuasions, and who, yes, it is important to have different viewpoints to learn from because you become a better person. All right? So I said number 3 was you increase your circle of friends. Now, the fourth one is very important. It's very, very important. Iron out your weaknesses. Iron out your weaknesses. Iron out your weaknesses. What you need to remember is that you are not a perfect human being. Every single person on this planet has weaknesses and has strengths. Every single person on this planet has certain behaviors that need to be changed. Okay? It could be that you procrastinate so much. It could be that you struggle to tell the truth. It could be that you are just a clumsy, and I don't like using the word dirty, but you're just a clumsy person and your hygiene is very poor. It could be that you find it difficult keeping time. It could be that you can't stay committed to one person. As you reflect on who you are, you must work at being the best version of yourself. It could be that you are overweight. It could be that you are underweight. But you then begin to take steps to work on your weaknesses. So, for instance, let me ask this question. Do you know your temperament? Psychologists have discovered 4 major temperaments. We have the melancholic, we have the phlegmatic, we have the sanguine, and we have the choleric. Could you just put in the chat, if you're watching on social media, what your temperament is? If you're choleric, say I'm choleric. If you are sanguine, say I'm sanguine. If you don't know, just type in there, I don't know. But one of the first things you could do is you could do a test. You could go online anywhere and do a quick test, temperament test, and answer the questions truthfully. And then just look at the results of the strengths of your temperament and the weaknesses of your temperament. Let's say, for instance, I am a majorly choleric and have sanguine tendencies. The strengths of my temperament are I lead well, I'm purposeful, I get things done, I stick to plans. The downsides of my temperament are I don't take account of people's emotions. People who are cholerics can be very callous and do very wicked things. So if you did that and you found out what your weaknesses are, as a single person, this is the best time to begin to say, how can I change in these areas? How can I be more effective? How can I be more forgiving? If you don't iron out your weaknesses, sometimes it is difficult for you to get married if you desire to get married, because what drives people away are your weaknesses. Probably your weakness is you don't know how to manage money. Yes, single guy, you've been working for 2 years. How much money do you have saved? Don't tell me about the economy. How much money do you have saved? What assets do you have to your name apart from your laptop and your car? And those, by the way, are not assets. They are liabilities to a certain extent. So work on your weaknesses. Deal with them. Go for counseling. I think we need to normalize going for counseling. We need to normalize talking with people and saying, you know what, this is me. How can I improve on who I am? What are the things I can do? Go sit with people who are wiser than you and work on yourself. So today we've been looking at how to enjoy your single life. This is the Marriage Clinic podcast, a podcast about love, marriage, and personal development. My name is Joshua Mogre. And as I said, we looked at how to enjoy your single life. Number 1, I said, understand it is a phase, it will pass. Number 2, I said, have little projects. Number 3, I said, increase your circle of friends. Number 4, I said, iron out your weaknesses. Iron out your weaknesses. It's been a pleasure bringing you this Marriage Clinic podcast. I'm really coming in for the single people because I keep seeing people who are made to feel like because I'm single, I can't achieve much. Because I'm single, things will not work out. But you need to understand and believe that being single is not a curse. it is not a problem. Yes, if you desire marriage, I am going to be helping you in next week's session on how to transition from the single life into the married life, how to transition from the single life into the married life. And I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun next week. So take good care of yourself. Enjoy the coming weekend, and we'll be here next week, Thursday. Love you all, and take care.